Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Stonekeep. And when last we left off, we began to explore the Gate of the Ancients, an area with no enemies but lots of puzzles. We haven't even begun to scratch the surface when it comes to the puzzles that are here. One of the puzzles we've sort of seen, but haven't yet solved, which is accessing this area. We can go down this corridor just fine, but this one seems to prevent us from moving further than here. It's not an illusion, it's actually teleportation, constantly returning us back to this point. And this will change which of these corridors we can't move down. If we use it, we'll be able to go down here, but not here. Which is handy because we can go either this way or this way to get access to here. We don't want to do that right now. What we want to do is we want to return back to the area where we found that really sharp dagger, because the first puzzle is one that you really wouldn't know unless you were using the Orb of Afri and were very diligent in checking all of the walls. We haven't had anyone in our party for quite a while who's been able to check for illusionary walls. There is an illusionary wall nearby. Very close by, in fact. You know this area that we were in before where the dagger was? There's an illusionary wall over here. You have to walk in and find that there is something beyond. There's no person in your party here that would tell you that that's there. Over here is something quite useful. A mana circle. We could always do with more magic. And speaking of magic, we don't need this equipped right now. We will need the sword at some point, but we don't need the throwing axe. So we'll just heal up to full, and then we'll use that mana circle again. There's quite a lot of healing to be done. And we just gained a skill, our final point of magic. We're now fully versed in the magical arts, which is handy. Let's mark down that there is a mana circle here. It is not the only mana circle in the Gate of the Ancients, or at least in this general area. Over here is the way that we're going to progress. Down a pit. There's no other way to avoid it, and we don't want to use any magic to prevent ourselves from taking any damage. It may not make any sense now, but it will in a little bit. Let's go. We don't take that much damage, and we can easily heal it up later. Here is an item that we'll grab, and we'll explore this new area. It is not called the Gate of the Ancients. We are in the pits, a place that we're going to be in quite a lot, but not for long periods of time.
I still can't make out what it says.
We're going to have to get used to that. There are going to be a lot of things that we won't be able to read. There's somewhere over here that's very important, though. We'll have to find this location by going down here and having a look in this general area. There's another one of these.
I still can't make out what it says.
Not surprisingly, we can't read it. There's a way up, but we're not going to go up just yet. We're going to go around here first. And note that there is this. Stepping on it does nothing, but there is a pit above it. Make a note of that as you go around and explore in this direction. That pit is very important. Over here is nothing. Absolutely nothing. We need to use that ladder to solve a puzzle that will unlock the ability to explore the rest of this pair of floors, the Gate of the Ancients and the pits. Let's go this way. There are no enemies to watch out for, so we can safely go up without healing. Over here are even more pits. Note, however, that you can use this map and this map to tell where these pits lead, because they are directly related to one another. If there's a pit here on the map, there will be a pit here on the map as well, and we need to find that pit. We're going to destroy that and collect that. Nothing here. There is something here, though. And here looks like a place that we definitely want to fall down. Anywhere else that we can fall down? There's probably somewhere up here too. If we go around the corner, this is where we need to fall. Without having the feather fall magic on. If we wanted to get rid of that, we could use the Spoil Spell rune on ourselves. And speaking of the Featherfall, it's time to change the description of this rune. It's been Ascend Heights for far too long, when in reality, it is not that. It is Featherfall, a spell that is soon to be completely useless. By falling here, we have activated that pressure plate, and revealed a way up here, where we will find another mana circle. We don't need to use it right now, but we will do once we've done some healing. There we go. We're all fully healthy once more. And we'll replenish this and mark down that it's here. It's very handy that this is here. One mana circle, but this is not the reason why we have come down here. There's something there that's very important.
In the realm of shadows, the weapon is hidden.
That's a very good hint. There is an orb that is floating in the air, a hint as to what it can be used for.
The scourge has been banished to the shadows.
Another handy clue. Let us grab this orb here. We no longer need the Featherfall spell, for we have found Sifrini's orb. And what does Sifrini's orb let us do? Float up. It also gives us a constant Featherfall effect as long as it is in our possession, be it in Miss Scroll or in our hand. Let's have a look at where we are. We're over here. Here leads to an area that we've been to before. It leads to down here. The wall will close behind us, and we can't go back that way. But we can now start using the various pits that we've encountered to explore the rest of this level. And we'll start doing that by backtracking a tiny bit over here. Let us go this way, and down here. We don't have Featherfall equipped, but we don't take any damage, thanks to Sifrini's orb. We are now going to start exploring the majority of this level. There are various things that we want to pick up along the way. We want to find a really good set of armor. We also want to find a statue. And we want to find various keys. There is a way up here. There's also there that we went down, and there that we've been up before. We want to go this way for now and find the other pits. There are a few other pits that we can go into, like this one. Let's go down here. Here leads to an area that we haven't been to before, and some remains. We'll get rid of these, pick up this, and this here, and that as well. Perhaps there's some treasure here that we can find. Perhaps there's an NPC we can talk to. We're not going to be finding an NPC that we can talk to. We want to constantly check the map to see if we haven't passed any pits in the ceiling, because we're going to be using them to navigate around. There's nothing here, it would seem, apart from a ladder up. The ladder up leads to a new location that we haven't been to yet. Over to here. What is here? We have seen this on the map before when we used the Orb of Afri. Here is another pit. Down we go! Here leads to this location. What is here? Let us read.
Greed closes all doors.
Yes, it does. You really don't want to grab everything here. There's an item in here. This looks like a ring. We don't want this ring. What is over here? Here is a magic shield. We really don't want that either. What about over here? Here is something that looks quite important. We'll grab this. If we look at what it is, it's not what you think it is. It is a key that looks like a wolf. Can we add it to the keyring? Yes, we can. That is the only item that we need. If we were to grab any of the other things here, it wouldn't end well for us. So we're just going to go now, because that is all that we required from here. One key to open some doors. We will now ascend and step away from the pit, because if we don't step away from the pit, we will fall back down. Can we go back this way? That is a good question. The answer is no. So we're going to have to backtrack back to where we came from. That's not so bad, however. There's a handy ladder. This area is really unusual. I can't emphasize enough how odd it was when I first came here and there weren't any enemies to speak of. No foes for you to fight, no things for you to overcome in terms of magic. It's just a lot of puzzles. A lot of puzzles that took quite a while to solve, I might add. Let us check where we are. We are now here. We have been down this pit already. There's this pit that we haven't been down, however. Around the corner. Down we go! What is down here? Probably a place that we haven't explored. Unless we have explored it somehow, we have not explored here. The pits are very confusing. If you had a map of the pits and you hadn't actually explored it, you'd have no idea how you were going to get around. Unless, of course, you knew about Sofrini's orb. You need this orb to complete the game. Ooh, there are things here. There's a skull, there's also some armor, more armor, a hammer, quite a good hammer too, and one helmet. We don't need any of this. Ooh, there's also a healing potion. We'll grab that and carry on exploring around. We're going to have to go through a lot of places, especially in the pits, before we can see the end of the Gate of the Ancients.
I still can't make out what it says.
We won't be reading any of them. Not even Enigma can help us with those. Anything here? There is a door. What about this?
Do not pass this way unless you have the means to rise above your station.
That is the game saying you can't go this way unless you have Sofrini's orb, which we do have. But for now, there is a door that we saw that we want to explore first. Can we open it? We can open it. Is it a one-way door? That's a good question. There are some doors here that you can only go through in one direction. Let's save and find out. Through we go. Can we go back through? No, we can't. This door is one way. Let's hope there's something useful up here. Up here appears to be a pit and another pit. Have we been in either of these directions before? No and no. Let's go this way first. Anything in here? We can always go back if we don't find anything useful. There appears to be nothing good so far. Nothing at all. Just a lot of empty corridors, full of silence, and I imagine really still air. Anything over here? Maybe, maybe not. There's another pit. Let us go in here. Over here is another small corridor. This leads to another stairway. Anything over here? The answer is yes. Over here, we're going to find something very peculiar.
What was that?
That was something activating, Drake. There's another one. And another one. Let's read this, shall we?
Traps now set.
Tell Scuzz something Scuzz don't know.
We might have done something bad. Very bad. We have no idea who was laughing there, and I don't think we'll ever find out. For this area, you don't have to go down at all, as far as I know. You may have to activate all of them to progress, but even if you do activate it, there are no enemies that appear. This area is entirely devoid of threats. We can go grab that, and anything else that we can do here. There are probably a few places that we haven't been, a few places that we can rise up using this orb. Let's start exploring, shall we? What is up here? The answer, a way that we can go in this direction. Don't throw the orb away, Kiko. We really need that orb. We also need to get rid of this and grab this arrow. A very useful arrow. We'll take the skull as well. Why not? We'll take that. Is there anything over here? Have we already been here? We have not already been here, and as you can see, this area is very slowly filling up. Ideally, we want to fill this place a lot more, map-wise. There is another pit over there. Is there a pit here? There is a ladder leading down. That's useful. And over here is some muck. there's nothing in the muck of any importance. There is, however, this puzzle. It's not much of a puzzle, you just need to time moving through correctly. If you don't time moving through correctly, you will die immediately. You'll just lose all of your health. We have now solved the puzzle. How can I tell? Because somewhere around here is going to be something that we can use to deactivate those. There we go. No longer will they try and kill us, which is very handy. There's nothing here. Is there anything here? No. Where does this lead? This leads to an area that we've sort of been to before. If we keep going down here, we will eventually find a door. This door is here. We've seen this door before. Will the key that we have unlock one of these doors so that we can get through the other side? Because right now, if we went through there, we would be stuck on the other side and we couldn't do anything. There is nothing there either. We definitely don't want to do anything here for now, so let's backtrack a little bit more. There's something we haven't filled in, I imagine. Yes, we haven't gone that way. We do need to keep going that way. We need to explore the whole of this area. It's the only way we'll be able to progress. Anything over here? There's quite likely going to be a pit. Or something we can read.
I still can't make out what it says.
Or something that we can't read. There is nothing here, but there is this. We'll press it. We don't know what it does. I'm sure it's important for something. For now, we want to backtrack over to those pits and see where they lead. We might as well fall down them. There's no consequence for doing so. We do need to be thorough. Anything over here? Apart from a pit or two, anything else that's appeared because we used that switch? There's this. We can climb down. This leads to an area we haven't been to before. Let's go and see what's down here. Anything good? Aha! Here is a statue of a duck. You may think that this is out of place, but no. This is here for a reason. We need to use the duck rune that we were given by the fairy players. Only the duck rune will unlock the secrets of this statue. For we command the power of the duck! We heard a duck there. That is because the duck statue has been solved. And here is our prize. Something that we already have. A potion, a ring back there, and a couple of scrolls that contain magic.
Languages rune. Target can read and understand written languages.
It's useless here though, so we'll just leave that there. We'll grab this. We will also grab the duck ring and replace it with this ring. We'll just put this down and put it on the pile of rings that we have. What about this one?
Warrior from Stonekeep. Strong and true with silvery light. Keep the shadows at bay.
We'll keep that in mind while we grab this one here.
Spear rune. Magical ranged attack. Spears are physical and can easily crush lightly defended creatures.
That's a pretty good spell. We'll have to remember that one. We'll put this down, though, and pick up this cryptic scroll.
What does this mean?
I have absolutely no idea. It may be useful, but we don't know why just yet. Let's mark down the rune that we got. I believe it is a Manish rune. Yes, it is. It is the Sphere rune. We may end up using it at some point. You can access this area from the other side, dependent upon what route you take through the various pits. As you can imagine, there are multiple routes that you can take. I believe there is a way up here. There is a way up here. Do we want to use the other pit? I don't think we do, actually. This pit will go to there, so we don't need to use that one. Let's use this one and see where it takes us. It brings us over to here. Have we been here before? We have been here before. Here leads to these pits, and we do ideally want to get back to this area. Probably so that we can try and open one of the doors. Let us go down here and see if we can find a location that will help us escape. Here is not a location that will help us escape. Let's go back up. That area leads back to a location we can't go back to. What about north, though? North is here, and that will lead over to there. It's probably actually better that we... Do we want to go that way? We want to go... Ideally, we want to get to here. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get to there, especially if we check the Ice Caverns map. That is the wrong map to check. If we backtrack, though, we could probably get there. There we go. We'll just back up here and have a look. We could go down there, which will then bring us to here. Okay, I think I'm figuring out where we need to go. We have to go back here. Back down here. And from here, we need to go to this one. This one will allow us to get to a different area, which will then let us get to a different pit, which will then let us get back to the central part of the Gate of the Ancients. Now armed with a key, we might be able to solve one of the first puzzles that will help us progress beyond finding the orb, which is opening up a new area to explore. We want to fall, I believe, down here now. Or we don't want to fall down here at all. Actually, I think we're in the exact location we need to be. We are. We can just go all the way around and go through one of those doors. And when we come back, folks, armed now with one of the keys that we can find here, hopefully we can use it to open a door. And that door will help us progress. Failing that, that door will let us get back to here. We really want to find a new place to go, though. We've been to most of the places we can already. And so... I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. Maybe we'll find something to fight somewhere. We're not going to find anything to fight. We're only going to find more puzzles that involve pits. A lot more puzzles that involve pits. Later.